Today we're going to expand on the idea that we did earlier in this task where we wrote a simple calculator program, but we're going to write a calculator program again, but this one's going to be specifically designed to do a specific thing, and that's to calculate the area of a circle. And so I've already opened up my LEGO Engineer software, and just like I did with the simple calculator program, I'm going to go ahead and delete my start and stop because I don't need them. From my panel window, I'm going to select numeric digital control. I'm going to set that up here so I have a place to input data. Now our formula for the area of a circle is pi times the radius squared. So the value that we're actually going to put into our calculator is the value of the radius. So I used my text function and went ahead and typed radius there. You'll notice when I put in that digital control, it automatically added an orange control box down here to my block diagram or to my diagram window. Now I need to, for the formula of the circle to work, I need to take this value, which is the radius, and I need to multiply it by itself because the formula is pi times the radius squared. And so from my numeric tool palette, I can select multiply and set it right there, just like I did when I wrote the simple calculator program. The difference is, in the simple calculator program, I had two different numbers that I was multiplying together. For my circle calculator, for my circle equation, I want to multiply this number right here, which is the radius, by itself. So instead of putting another number in there and multiplying them together, I'm actually going to wire the radius here into both sides. So that's going to take that number times that number again, which is radius squared. The other part of my equation is the value pi. And if I go back into the numeric palette set, my numeric functions, you'll see I actually have the value pi there that I can select. So I choose pi, add it to my diagram, and what I need to do is take pi times my radius squared. So I'm going to need another multiplication. And now I can just use my wiring tool to wire pi, the value pi, into one side or one terminal, and the radius squared part of this into the other terminal. So now I have my equation completely set up. Pi times the radius, pi radius squared. Last thing I need to do is give myself an indicator that's going to tell me what the area of the circle is, and I can do that by clicking on the point of this second multiplication, right-clicking on the point actually, create an indicator, and that gives me an indicator box, and I can tell it's an indicator box because it has a yellow border or a white border as opposed to the orange border that we see in the control box. Scoot this out a little bit, and you'll notice that when I did that, it also added an indicator box up here to my panel. What I want to do now is take my text function, go in, and I can actually delete x times y and replace that with area. And that will remind me that value is the area of my circle. Go ahead and check my program. I have a solid white arrow here, which tells me that my program, that there aren't any wiring issues in my program. So I'll go ahead and run this continuously. Select my operate tool, which is the pointer finger, and now if I increase my radius, you'll see the area of a circle goes up. For example, a circle with a radius of 1 would have an area of 3.14. A circle with a radius of 2 would have an area of 12.57. I can also actually type my numbers in. A circle with an area of, say, 13.25 would have a radius of 551.55 square units. And that's my calculator function. Go ahead and stop it. Do File, Save As. I'm going to save this under my drive, and I'm going to save it as circle calculator. Again, making sure .vi is at the end of it. I'll save that, and I am done, so I can exit out, quit the LabView program.